Hi everyone, it's Lalitaa here. One question that just stops us from being who we are, stops us from showing up as the person that we want to be. What will people think? What will people think? That one question, what will people think? What will people think? Who are these people? Are they our neighbors? Are they colleagues? Are they people on the street? Is it people we meet on a day-to-day basis? People on the train? Are they strangers? Are they friends of friends or extended family members? Who are these people and why do we give so much focus to what they think about us? Now, if we understand that, we can move forward, because if we are attached constantly and we live our life, we're here and we're living our life, what are people going to think? 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 How are we living our life? We're living our life based on what we think people are going to think. And the honest truth is, we don't know what people are going to think. The honest truth is, we perceive what we think people are going to think, but we don't know what people are going to think. And we are attached so strongly to what people are going to think of me, what people are going to think of me, what people are going to think of me. And we're holding on to this cord and we're like, but people are going to think this of me, but people are going to think this of me. And it stops us. It stops us from being who we want to be in the world, or who we want to nurture ourselves to be, because we're instead blossoming as people think this of me, but and we become what we think people want in order to be accepted, to feel validated, to feel worthy, to feel good enough. Whereas when we detach ourselves, we get to nurture ourselves and blossom ourselves for who we want to be, for what we think is important. And this goes back into our conditioning, back into why do we focus so much on what people think? Has this been ingrained within us through our conditioning, where we always told, look, you better do this because otherwise if you don't do this, someone's going to shout at you, or this person's going to say this about you, or this is what's going to happen. And we had like a very fear-based response to what people were going to think. And now moving forward, we're so aware of what people are going to think, and it's constantly going off in the back of our heads. Don't do this because of this, don't do this because of this, don't do this because of this. And it's going off and off and off. And what happens is we're constantly listening to that part of us. And it's a very trauma-based response to showing up and living in the world around you, because you're coming from a place of focusing so much, so heavily on being accepted, being validated, and that becomes our way of love in some ways. So once upon a time, the way that we received love was we were told to do this, and what we did is we perceived that in order for us to be good enough, I need to do X, Y, and Z. And that's what we learned to do. We learned to do X, Y, and Z, which was to focus on what people were going to think about us to feel good enough. And what I often see is people don't get to live the life that they want. They're not making the choices of like career options, romantic partners, friendships, traveling, experiences. Look, they're not living their life. They're living a life based on what they think they need to be living. And people will come and they say, I've got all these things around me. I'm doing all the things that I thought I wanted to be doing, but I'm not happy. I'm not in a place where I feel content. There's something missing, and the missing piece is, if we had a jigsaw, that missing piece is you, your thoughts, your opinion, what you feel matters. Or we don't have the focus of, well, what do I think? Well, I don't know what I think, because I've never been asked that question. So I don't know these, and people will panic and feel really scared because they feel like they don't know who they are. And where every day we're learning, we're developing, we're becoming new versions of ourselves. Every day we're growing and we take different things away from the world around us. So it's not that we don't know who we are, because we're always growing and learning into who we are and what we are. That's not just a fixed statement of, this is who I am and I have to stay this way. We're growing constantly and we're learning, we're adapting. So going back into what will people think, it is about us trying to really detach ourselves from that. So we're not hooked onto what will people think, what will people think. Because if we've got that hook attached, how do we get to like live for us? How do we get to make the choices that we want to make? And there is a really fascinating book. It's called The 5 Regrets of Dying, and it talks to people who are very close to death and their regrets of dying. And when we look into what is it that we're worrying about right now? We're worrying about people's judgments of how people are going to perceive us. And we need to also ask ourselves, is this really going to matter for us? And why does it matter so much to us? And if we can get to the root of why we put so much focus onto it, do we not have the tools to be able to detach ourselves away? Is it that that's the only way that we've ever known and we don't know another way and we're trying to build that new way of being? Is it that we fear, well, what if I let someone down? What if I disappoint someone? What if I create conflict by doing something that I want to do? What if I let my family down? What if I am a disappointment, an embarrassment? So there's all these different what ifs, and these what ifs are the things that then keep us into, okay, I'll do this, then I'll do this, and I'll do this, and I'll do this, and I'll do this, and you then start to live life based on what you think that you should be doing. And we need to also ask yourself, and this is why check-ins are important, reflections are important. And what I do is I book out a reflection time in my diary so I know it's there. And I have this time allocated to really just sit down and go through things in my mind, go through things with my thoughts, go through things with how my week's been. And I do this once a week, and it's a really powerful time because it just means that there's no noise, there's no chaos around me. It's just me, my thoughts, and a piece of paper and a pen. And I just really sit down with where I'm at in life and how I feel, what my thoughts are, where I am at emotionally, where I'm at mentally, where I'm at physically, and really just check in with myself. So it is an important task that we can do this because it gives us so much more insight into what might be going on for us, and that insight then allows us to make changes to the world that we're living in and to start living for ourselves and start doing things that we want to do. And learn to step away from the what if. But first we need to identify, what is this what if? What is it that I'm holding on to? Because that's what's attaching us to all these people around us and making us think, well, what are they going to think? What are they going to think? And it all comes back down to how we are going to be feeling about ourselves, such as like a disappointment, feeling a letdown, feeling shame, feeling embarrassment. So there's loads of different emotions that we are feeling. And because of that, we then try to please everyone else and do what we think we're meant to be doing in the world around us, and not being able to just do what we want to do. And when you start living for yourself and really make choices based on who you are, your life blossoms in a very different way, where you are content, you are happy, you have joy. So there's lots of different ways of you really being yourself without feeling the need of, but I need to please, I need to make sure that I'm looking after other people, I need to do this, I need to do this. It's like, no, we don't need to do these things. So on that note, I'm gonna love you and leave you. And if there's any comments that you have, anything that you want to ask about the topic today, please do share, subscribe, comment below. And if you think that someone else will benefit from hearing this video, please do share this video. And yeah, any feedback would be great. And I will love you and leave you there. So take care, have an amazing day, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye bye.